Hopefully you can see me and hear me. Let me know if you can. I'm gonna just get my laptop going. I was trying to like get my phone to activate because I'm using my phone as the camera, so sorry for the for the slightly strange angle. Right, let me just get my laptop going. Okay, so it looks like we are working. Now I can never see on here. I'll get the comments on here anyway. So yeah, say hi if you're here. Oh, there we are. I can see my own comments, so hopefully. Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Emma. Hi, Sarah. Great, so you can see me and hear me. Have you seen that meme that is, hi, Liz. There's been a meme, it's probably like old now, I guess, but it's saying that like Zoom meetings are like seances, and like YouTube Live is most definitely like that as well. It's like, can you see me? Can you hear me? Are you there? So yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks for saying hi. It's nice to have you here. I've been just really wanting to like connect much more with community, like with people in person, and I think live just feels a little bit more like that, like we can actually have a chat with the comments and everything like that as well. So the new moon, oh hi Anna. The new moon we are in the new moon now, you know, the new moon energy is with us now. The actual like moment of the new moon has passed in the UK. That was like 5 to 7, so it's basically like about an hour and a half ago is when the moon is like tipped into new moon energies. So we've got Leo Sun, Leo Moon. Oh hi Stacey. Oh, thank you. It was nice for you to join me. I'm glad you're here. So I think there's 30 people here already, so that's really cool. So we should have a good chat. I want to talk a little bit about the energies of this Leo new moon, and we'll pull some cards as well. And I wanted to go back to, if you're in the Facebook group, which I know lots of you are because I let you know that we were going to be having the live over in the Facebook group. I posted a few prompts that were pertinent to this new moon. So there's an awful lot going on astrologically at the moment with like sort of build-ups of planets in different places. And it's the same, it's a pattern that has been coming on now for a long time. You know, the last few years have all been part of this kind of pattern of breaking down old systems and making new systems. But the next couple of weeks are quite significant in that they really offer a really good sort of time that we can really set into your hearts. Oh, hi Marlene. Oh, Dawn Michelle, that's so sweet of her. I love Boho Tarot. I love Dawn Michelle's tarot channel. It is so good. So yeah, I really appreciate her pointing you over here. So what I wanted to talk about really is how this time is really kind of heart-centered and really gives us an opportunity to kind of think about how we can care for ourselves in the midst of all this other kind of crazy stuff that is going on. So I thought we could have a little chat about that and talk about like our current practices. If you have got a deck handy, that'll be really useful. It can be tarot, oracle, it doesn't matter. I've got a couple of decks. Well, I've got all my decks that are kind of around me anyway, so I'll pull some cards as well for us. And hey, oh, it's so nice to see so many of you here. It's really lovely. Sorry, I've been a bit like, it's so weird for me doing a live now because like I did do one a couple of, probably like a month or so ago now, journaling, but that's a little bit different from like doing a face to camera live. I haven't done one for ages. I used to do one every single new moon, so yeah, that was really good fun. So I'm hoping this is going to be really cool, and everyone's gonna get a lot out of it. So yeah, if you've got a deck handy, if you haven't, or you've got an app, Sarah, that's completely fine as well. You might also want to have a notebook just to note some things down. And what I would love, like in this sort of, oh hey Kim, so in the interest of like community, is like we can share our own mechanisms for how we like kind of care for ourselves, that kind of unconditional love, tapping into the heart center, which is like Leo is the heart. You know, Leo is about our heart center, also about the spine, our backbone, courage. You know, these are the things that are being activated now, and it's time for us to look at that idea of how can we like fresh start or kind of reset ourselves in those arenas of like heart-based care for ourselves and for the people who are important to us, and also like really kind of step up and be courageous in our lives. So yeah, I like, how do you guys feel about that? Does that sound good, or does that sound daunting? I've been working on courage and that kind of Leo center since like halfway through 2020. Really, it's something that has really been activated for me personally. So I think this moon for me, I've been quite like sort of looking forward to it, but also kind of like a little bit daunted, I guess, as well. Like that it's not a time to be kind of like hiding in the long grass. It's definitely time to step up and be seen. You know, Leo, sometimes Leos get a bad press for being like kind of me, you know, wanting the spotlight and being just, you know, like that kind of, that person that, you know, they think everyone wants to know what they're up to and that kind of thing, you know. But that Leo energy is, oh good, I'm glad it's well timed for you, Kate. It is about being in the spotlight, like not necessarily like being it's all about me, I'm the most important thing. I think that's a misread. That's like a shadow type of a Leo. That's not actually the Leo, like the sort of heart-based Leo energy. The heart-based Leo energy is much more about taking up space, yes, and putting yourself forward and being seen and being visible, but not not in a self-centered way, in a service way, you know, being of service, opening that heart and allowing people to connect and kind of be of service. So yeah, I think it's really exciting. It's an exciting time, and there's also lots of stuff people talk about now about this Lion's Gate portal, which I hadn't seen that up until a couple of years ago, really. But people talk about that a lot now. They say like from the end of July, or maybe it's even from the beginning of July until like the 8th of the 8th, the 8th of August is supposed to be that time when that Lion's Gate portal is open and you can really feel that kind of heart energy exchange. Oh, good luck for your interview, Sarah. I hope that goes really well. I didn't even know you were looking for another job, so yeah, let me know what that's all about. If you want to chat about stuff like this, I've been trying to kind of drop little things like this in community that I'm being asked. My guides and the Divine Mother has been very much okay, cool. She is wanting me to step forward and facilitate community. She's very insistent that that is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'd really taken a step back from YouTube, and then I was, you know, it's been very clear that that's what I'm supposed to be here and doing. So I'm trying to do that, be more visible. You know, this is me doing this Leo new moon, if that makes sense. So Liz says community's been coming up for me this new moon too. Yeah, it's something that can feel risky. For me, it feels risky because a lot of the time when you're a little bit different, and I know, you know, a lot of you guys who watch my channel are, you know, slightly quirky, shall we say? So when you know that about yourself and you know that you're a little bit different, a little bit like, I was going to say strange, but maybe that's not, you know, like everyone's a bit strange, aren't they? Community can feel even more risky because we aren't heard, we know we're not herd, as in like herd animals. You know, we are community animals, we are tribal, I guess, you know, animals. That's been our history as humans. But as like witches or sort of witchy leaning people, we aren't, it's not easy for us necessarily to gather together with like-minded people because we are the weird one in our like immediate local community usually. So we aren't part of the like herd that you know, we're on the edges of that. I hope this is making sense. But that doesn't mean, like, now we have the technology to be able to connect with people in obviously on a global scale, and we can, you know, it's safe sort of, you know, it feels safer anyway to do that. And we can find, like, I've been amazed to find other people who are like, think about things the same way as I do. And it's like, wow, you know, I didn't realize that that was, and then so many people as well, which is really, really cool, really awesome. So yeah, I just want to kind of invite you really to this month. So from this new moon all the way to the next new moon. I did pull up the astrology dates and everything. So this lunar cycle, we're starting today on this new moon, and the full moon is on, for if you're in the UK and in America, would be on the, or maybe not, because it's really early in the morning, on the 12th of August for us in the UK, the full moon in Aquarius, which is the opposite sign to Leo, as it always works out like that. So like the new moon, oh hi Elaine. So yeah, the new moon and the new moon is when the sun and the moon are together in the same place. So the sun and the moon are both together now in Leo, and Mercury is also there with them. And I feel like Mercury is like planet of like kind of ideas, communication, and with the sun and the moon, which is like your kind of body and soul, you know, your inner self and outer self, your conscious and unconscious, you know, everything is there together with Mercury as well. And so it's a really excellent time for like tapping in. The new moons always are a really good time for intuition, tapping into like your actual like motivation and what is true for you, needs to change for you. But this moon even more so, I think, with Mercury there as well. And it is opposing Saturn. Like Saturn is the planet of like kind of routines and structure, like building structures. And like with all this stuff that's been going on, you know, structures are most definitely breaking down at the moment. Things are changing for us. And there's that kind of push-pull between the inner and the outer. And like you've probably heard, if you're into astrology at all, Jupiter is stationing retrograde very shortly as well. And that's going to mean that we're going to have a few months now of kind of like going over the hopes and dreams that we have had, that we've built up, and sort of having chance to really sort of weed out, is this actually something that is still relevant for me or not? So I think this new moon offers a really good opportunity to kind of, even more so than usual, to tap into that communication with self, and most definitely that heart-based communication with self. We want to look at heart, we want to look at courage. And I did come up with some prompts. Let me see if I can find them here. So I shared these over in the Facebook group, but I've shared them actually in the video description for this video as well, if you want to look back at them. So I've put 4 prompts. Is how are you currently blessing others with your heart energy? How are you currently blessing yourself with your heart energy? How strong does your vital force feel right now? You know, our heart in traditional astrology and in medical astrology, our heart is like the seat of our vital force, is where our vital force is like held and emanates out from. So when we feel strong and abundant there in our vital force, that can make us, you know, that just ripples out through everything. You know, there's a reason that the kind of medical astrologers from like the 15th and 16th centuries, they always worked on strengthening the heart, strengthening the vital force. So whatever sign the heart was in, they would strengthen, and you know, using like sort of sun remedies and things like that. So we can talk a little bit about that as well if you're interested about that. And then what could you do to boost your vital force this lunar month, which is from new moon to the next new moon, which I was talking about and I distracted myself. So basically we're talking about this period of time from today until around, it's towards the end of August, like around the 27th of August, when we have the Virgo new moon. So the energy kind of shifts again. But especially for the next fortnight between now and the full moon. So I'm going to give you a second. I have a little sip of tea to, if you want to get some cards or journal or whatever you're going to use, you know, you can just completely free write these if you want to. If you haven't got cards handy or you don't want to do it like that, that's completely fine. And let's just have a look at that first prompt. Like, how are you currently blessing others with your heart energy? Yeah. So get your cards going. I'm just going to pour a cup of tea. I'll pull a card for it as well in a second. I just need a drink. That might be a bit hot actually, so maybe I've also got some water here, so I'll have a sip of that too. So I've got a couple of decks handy. I pulled down my Joie de Vivre, which I was using last month, or maybe it was the month before actually. No, I think it was June. Because for me, this is like very leonine, kind of bright, you know, look at that. That kind of bright, sparkly, heart-based energy. So if you've got a deck that feels like that for you, then that would be a good one to use. And I've also got this new one which I've just bought, which is, I'm still a little bit like, I'm not sure if this is going to be a deck I'm going to read with, but it is my Jane Austen tarot. Well, they say it's a tarot. It's 52 cards, and it's a bit strange. I've already done 2 readings with this. Oh, Everyday Witch. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a nice. What I like about Leo as well is that it feels straightforward, and I think like that's why the new moon times are more straightforward, is because the sun and the moon are together, so there's not the kind of barriers to communication and opposing forces that they normally are. So straightforward readers, like I find my Everyday Witch is a very straightforward reading deck. So yeah, that's good. A good one to use as well. What else? Who else? What else are you using? Queen of the Moon Oracle. Yeah, nice. I almost got down the dark days and I was like, oh, I don't know. So yeah, let me know if you're pulling, if you're shuffling, you're pulling, what have you pulled for that first prompt? The how are you currently blessing others with your heart energy? Oh, Liz is going to use the Rosebud Tarot when she get home. That sounds beautiful. Oh yeah, another Liz, Old Ways Cottage, is using Light Seers. Yeah, Light Seers, that is a really good choice. I love that. I don't know the Rosebud Tarot, that sounds really intriguing. I'm all over the botanical type decks usually, so. So I'll pull one for me as well. Maybe I'll pull one from both decks. Maybe I'll pull one for me and I'll pull like a general one as well. Let's do that. So I think I'll take mine from the Joie de Vivre. Yana said I'm totally going to use it. Why am I not surprised, you know, that you're using that deck? Goddess Dream Oracle, pulled the Death card. Nice. Emperor, okay. 5 of Swords. Hierophant. Yes, I know that card, Elaine, the yoga teacher. Yeah. Yes, interesting. So perhaps, you know, really look at the imagery on that card as well. Oh, hi, Candy. Yeah, you want a deck. Oh my gosh, I'm throwing not just one card though, a few cards. Yeah, really look at the imagery of that card and sort of see how am I currently blessing others with a high energy. So obviously use the meanings of the card if you know the meaning of the card, but also like try and look for details that you. So like that yoga one is an interesting one, Elaine. Like, you know, she's kind of like got a one eye open, one eye shut, I think, isn't she, in the imagery? She's like a little bit of a cheeky yoga teacher. And she's got students, doesn't she, with her as well. So yeah, that's interesting. So, okay, so someone else said they pulled the Death card as well. And that is how, what I have pulled, as in how am I currently blessing others with my heart energy? And I am bringing death. I actually, my moon is in the balsamic phase, which means my birth moon is just before the new moon, is when the moon was dark. And I feel like all my life I've been bringing this idea of like not literally bringing death. I haven't been going around like murdering people, but I bring change, you know. Yes, rebirth, Kim, you know, it's bringing that energy of being able to end cycles and beginning to making space for new stuff, you know, making stuff for things to come in, because things can't come in, new things can't come in until there's space for them. So, and look at the imagery of this card. It's such a gorgeous death card. Death cards, they're one of the ones that, like, if I don't like that card in a deck, then I probably won't get that deck. So she's read it. I might read what it says in the guidebook actually, because they all have names as well. The World, oh, that's a beautiful one. You're literally like just bringing it all for everyone. Yeah, she's like taking a flower and she's riding into this, like it looks almost like a kind of cosmic black hole. But like it's such a reminder that death obviously is a cycle with all these swirls and circles and things as well. I feel like that we don't go through it alone as well. So like I'm bringing that energy of like companionship. Like I think that's what I need to do with my with community, you know, with the community that I want to be part of, and I want to help people to be able to move from one place where they maybe feel stuck, where they maybe feel like the course has been run for them in that place. You know, you can see she's skeletal, you know, she is done with this world. She's got some beauty, you know, some really beautiful aspects to her. And her heart, she's got her heart, look, so prominent here, and she's got her flower, and you know, she's really lived well, but there's nothing there for her in this life, in this phase, this life anymore. And so she is passing through with her companion into the next stage, the next phase, into death. So I feel like for me, that's what it's saying, is that I am helping people. Maybe I am this, you know, this gorgeous like bat wolf thing that is here, and I'm helping people, moving them when they're ready from that stage of kind of stagnation into a new becoming for themselves. So yeah, I don't think that's scary. I think that's really lovely. Yeah. So yeah, make a note. I will obviously have this video, I guess, so I can kind of look back on, but I'll keep the cards. I can pull the cards back out later. Transformation, change. All I can see is death riding a food mixer in that Let me hold it a little bit closer so you can see that it's not a food mixer. Yeah, riding into that like star, that new realm. It's really gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah, so I saw quite a lot of different cards. Obviously, you guys, it was all like flashing up really fast for me then, so I couldn't see exactly what everyone had. But do you feel like you know what that card means for you? If you know what that card means for you, that's brilliant. You can make a note of that. If you're not sure, then maybe you can ask in the chat as well. There's loads of experienced readers here. I've seen lots of names fly past of people who know what they're doing. So I'm sure together we can kind of figure it out if you haven't figured it out yet. And like there will always be, I always find this, that there's more stuff will come to me later as well, you know, so it's like, oh yeah, and that, you know, so yeah, that's really fun. So that is the first prompt. Let's pull a collective one from the Jane Austen for us as well, of like what we collectively... Oh yeah, sorry Liz, you can't really be pulling cards on your drive home. Oh hey, Feathers and Stars Tarot, that's really nice to see you. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for us all on that. How are we currently blessing others with our heart energy? For us that are here. I'll read you the thing from the book as well, because like they're literally like one-liners. It doesn't give you a lot. Okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. We have the death card again. I love tarot so much. It just is like, I already told you. Yeah, so we have the death card. I'll see if I can find, there might be a little bit more than a one line about these because they're the majors, but there's not loads about it. So I think someone said they weren't sure how to read the 10, was there a 10 of Swords? Somebody said it, that kind of went up really quickly. What deck are you using? Yes, Savannah, sorry, we're pulling cards. The prompt is, how are you currently blessing others with your heart energy? How are you currently blessing others with your heart energy? Because it is this Leo new moon. Oh, thank you. This is so cute, isn't it? This was something that was actually made for my daughter by someone we know who does crochet. And it's so cute, but it's a little bit big for her head. So, so yeah, I've basically stolen it. And I love it. So, so yeah, it looks like well, obviously it looks like death. Looks like somebody tending. I wonder if that's Marianne. I haven't really looked through this deck properly, but I wonder if that's Marianne tending, not Marianne, Eleanor tending Marianne in Sense and Sensibility. Let's have a look what it says in the book. So it's 4 of spades, which are swords in this deck. 10 of swords from the Gentle Tarot. Okay, I don't know. Who else in the chat knows the dental tarot? Oh my gosh, that probably is a thing, isn't it? Who knows the Gentle Tarot, 10 of Swords, who might be able to help out with that card? Because I want everyone to be able to get something out of this. So let's have a look at our collective death. I'm sorry to be bringing the death to you all. Oh, hey Nadia. Oh, yes, Leo. So solar return for you. That's lovely. Right. 4 of Spades death. Yeah, so it's Marianne and Eleanor. Transformation. But yeah, that's the key word for it, is transformation. After Marianne Dashwood nearly catches her death of fever in Sense and Sensibility, she changes her mind about Willoughby. That's interesting, isn't it? Like, I don't know if you guys know that story. If you haven't seen the movie with Emma, what is her name? She's like the amazing actress. Now my mind has gone blank. She's so funny. Well, and Kate Winslet, obviously. Kate Winslet is Marianne. Who's Eleanor? Yeah. Yeah, cool. So people are 10, definitely 10 of Swords in general, I think, like Elaine's saying. 10 is like end of cycle. Thompson. Thank you, Sarah. Emma Thompson. Oh my God. Yeah, how did that go from my head? So yeah, isn't that funny? Like, Marianne in the story is like completely obsessed with this guy who's completely a knob, you know, like he's handsome, but he's just like only interested in her if she's got money, but not interested in her if she is yeah, thanks Sarah, when she's got nothing, you know. So and he goes for the girl who's got money instead, and she almost kills herself for love, you know, in that kind of like tragic romantic way. Like if it had been a Bronte sisters book, she definitely would have died, you know. Because you should die for love, shouldn't you, if you're really serious about it? But she doesn't, and she is nursed back to health, and like she does eventually end up marrying that old man, doesn't she, who's Snape. She marries Severus Snape. I hope you're all following this. I haven't been drinking, honestly. But it is Alan Rickman. Yes, thank you. Also the Sheriff of Nottingham. She marries the Sheriff of Nottingham. And he's also in well, he's in loads of things, isn't he? He's dead for real now, isn't he? So yeah, clearly my brain is not working properly. It is beautiful, Elaine. The illustrations are really gorgeous, and it feels nice as well. It does feel really nice. But yeah, it's interesting that like it was kind of foolishness that led her up to that stage, but she does come through the fever, and she does she's fine afterwards, and she has learned something, isn't it? You know, that's the kind of takeaway from it. She's learned, like in a way she's kind of learned cynicism, and that's a bit sad. But yeah, definitely, I just saw the end of that message. It feels like a big one for the collective as well. I really feel like it is, which is the reason why I wanted to get back on doing these lives for the new moons, because it feels, this new moon does feel really significant, and like it's not shocking to me that I've just pulled out of 2 different decks 2 death cards, you know. So yeah, that is very on point. And like Tens of Swords, any kind of cycle, like world cards, you know, these are all end of cycle cards, aren't they? Beginning of something new cards. Especially swords, you know, this is a sword card as well, 4 of Swords rather than 10. It's that mental energy, with Mercury being there with the Sun and Moon in Leo for us at the moment, is bringing that mental aspect to us as well. It's given exactly, Rona, transformation. That's what it says in the book for this card, transformation. And it's given us the opportunity to break out of prisons in our own mind. You know, instead of being trapped in those mind prisons, we can tune into our hearts instead and find that freedom that is there. You know, we might feel like we're stuck, but we're not. There's always, this is eternal, you know, this is eternal. So encouraging others to shine, I love that. That's gorgeous. Yeah, that's lovely. I won't talk about all the prompts this long, I promise. Let's have a look at our next one. So that one was about how we're currently blessing others in our lives. So use the same deck probably, and you do you decide what you want to do. But how are you currently blessing yourself? Oh yeah, breaking out of prisons in my own mind, yeah. Thanks, Elaine. Like, you know, you will regret, you know, I'll be rabbiting on for ages. It's already like half an hour and we've got to the first prompt, so. Okay, how are you currently blessing yourself, guys? Go on, you go, and I'm having a little sip of tea. Yeah, really huge, I think, yes. Ah, Grace, you're here. It's so beautiful to have you here, thank you. 7 of Cups. What does that feel like then, Sarah? 7 of Cups for blessing yourself. 3 of Cups. Oh, that's a juicy, juicy one. Have you been doing that? Are you circling with other people? Are you connection? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, community, connection, it seems to be coming up, doesn't it? Choices also as well with that 7 of Cups. Let's see what I get then. 3 of Swords, oh my gosh. Oh, low on your priority list. Yeah, I feel like there's got lots of other things competing for your attention. Queen of Swords, that's interesting. 10 of Swords, blessing myself. Okay, Kate, you might need to have a little look at that. That self-care probably needs to be shifted along. 6 of Cups, that's interesting. King of Wands, a little behind, Dragonfly, heart in blessing others, listener, beautiful. Yes, cool. The World from the Numinous Tarot. I love how the world's coming out. 7 of Swords. Yeah. Lessons learned. 8 of Pence. That's a cool one for blessing yourself. Blessing yourself with like practical crafts. Yeah, things like that. You should focus on yourself first with the mantra, have the will to make. Yeah. Yes, that's a good suggestion. I think it's interesting to see the difference between those 2 cards, you know, so look at your first card, look at your second card, and look at the difference, you know, is one a major, is one a low minor, you know, have a look at that and see, oh, I've given myself a paper cut. Sacrifice for the, for the collective good. Okay. So how am I currently blessing myself? 4 of Swords. Okay, so I see the pattern here. First of all, I pulled Death for how I'm blessing others. Then I pulled Death as the collective card, but that card is the 4 of Swords in this deck. It's the 4 of Spades, but it's 4 of Spades is the 4 of Swords in that Jane Austen deck. And then for blessing myself, I've got the 4 of Swords. So I feel like if you look at this particular 4 of Swords, it's really beautiful. Oh, 10 of Cups, that's a beautiful way to be blessing yourself. I kind of would prefer that. Perfect key, that's nice as well, yeah. She has got, again, heart right there. I feel like I'm blessing myself by allowing myself time to tap into that. And I feel like this is encouragement that I should be, yeah, the Light Seers, the description for the Light Seers 3 of Swords is beautiful, actually. That's a really gorgeous one, Kim. So, I feel like I can lean into this more. This is showing me that for blessing myself, I need to be able to give myself that time to really turn in. Look at her eyes, how her eyes are like closed and the energy is there, focusing down onto her heart center. But her heart center is not here, it's here above the womb. And just bringing that energy down, really far down, making it rooted, bringing it down to that like sacral rooted chakra. Making it like grounded as well. For a swords card, this feels really earthy for me. And you know, like fours are kind of earthy because they've got that kind of square, solid energy about them, more so than the other numbers with the numerology. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely, and look at the spiral as well, like following that spiral in, following the spiral out, in and out. Yeah, that's really gorgeous. I love that. So let me pull one for you guys. Well, for us. For us all. Let's do it. So let's see what we get. We seem to be following a pattern at the moment, don't we? So maybe we'll break out of that now. How are we currently blessing ourselves as a collective? Well, we're blessing ourselves by hanging out now and pulling some cards. So maybe something like that will come out. Let's see. It's quite big, this deck as well. It's definitely more like oracle size than tarot size, but it does shuffle well considering it's kind of chunky. Okay. So that's lovely. We've got a gorgeous, gorgeous big bunch of flowers. We've got the 10 of diamonds, which is the 10 of pentacles, equivalent to the 10 of pentacles. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'll read what it says in the book, but it's looking to me like we are blessing ourselves with things, maybe. Like this deck does seem to be quite thing oriented. You know, like Jane Austen made no bones about the fact that, you know, you have a better life if you've got nice things than if you haven't, even though she kind of also valued like higher mind and, you know, true love and things like that as well, of course. Let's look what it says in the book for that, for the 10 of diamonds in this deck. It's like I say, it's so funny. They're literally like one-liners. But I'm kind of intrigued by it, you know? Let's have a look. 10 of diamonds, accomplishment. The fruit of labour in the family garden is a beautiful bouquet. Sit back and enjoy. So I feel like it is like sort of saying, yes, we are taking some time to enjoy the fruits of our labour. So maybe for me, it's the end of a day. I've been quite busy today doing different bits and bobs of stuff. So it's nice to just be able to have a change of pace and like connect in more with those like higher vibration kind of energies rather than like what am I making for dinner and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, I love the playing card style about them, Savannah, as well. That was one of the things that really kind of drew me in to this deck. They just look, it's one of the things that kind of draws me into Normand as well. I know that's not the same, not playing card style, but it's like kind of as well, you know. So yeah, I think that's a beautiful card for a Leo new moon. Leo is about play, about abundance, about creativity as well, you know, fun, joy. What brings us joy? Like it's a treat, isn't it? It's something beautiful. And it's like that beauty is not just a, oh, hey, Chrissy. It's not just a, we need that, you know, we need beauty. I genuinely feel like, especially like maybe I am, oh yeah, sorry Chrissy, this is the Jane Austen tarot, which I've only just bought, so I don't know this deck at all well at the moment. I've only started looking at it this morning properly. I bought it on the weekend, and yeah, I feel like we need beautiful things in our lives, and those beautiful things don't need to be expensive things. They are like just a plant, you know, or, you know, our children, things like that. So, you know, your pets or whoever it is, whatever it is that, yeah, good for, it's not even just like, I think that's part of that Leo energy, is that we don't just like having beauty and play and creativity. It's necessary, and not even just necessary, it's central, you know. It is essential to us. That is, it's essential in the like fullest sense of that word. It's essential. It's our vital force. That is where we get our vital force, through play, through creativity, through connection, through joy, fun, exploring things. It's that gorgeous Leo energy, yeah. And we can treat ourselves to a beautiful bouquet, or we can just treat our eyes to seeing all the beautiful things around us, you know. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, So is everyone okay? Everyone's up to speed? Everyone feel like they know what is coming out for them? What did you notice about the differences between the two cards, or similarities between the two cards? I'm finding it really interesting that they've chosen the Four of Swords as the Death card in, and why have they chosen the Four of Swords as the Death card in that Jane Austen tarot? You know, it doesn't really explain any of that. So like I think it's from a numbers point of view, like death is 13 and like 1 and 3 is 4, so maybe that's why they've gone Four of Swords. I don't know. If you do know, then let me know. I know, Yana, if you're still here, you use that oh yeah, both cups for you, Sarah. Yeah, is there patterns in your cards as well? Be looking out for that. Interestingly, I haven't seen that many people. I think I saw a King of Wands, definitely. But considering Leo is a fire sign, I feel like I've seen a lot more Cups and Pentacles. Yeah, it does look like, yeah, exactly. The Four of Swords does sometimes look like somebody's died in a lot of decks, I find. Or like in a coma or resting, you know. Yeah, seeing the beauty everywhere for sure. That's gorgeous. Right, so our third prompt is, how strong does your vital force? Yeah, maybe balancing out the heat. I always find the dark moon, the new moon, is being... Oh, okay, Judith, both your poles have been one, so you're definitely tapping into that sparky fire energy. Yes. Yeah. Yes. How strong does your vital force feel right now? So, like I said, you know, Leo is the sign of the heart, the sign of our vital force, and also our kind of courage, our backbone, our strength. How are we feeling? How strong are we feeling in that at the moment? I'm kind of a little bit like, I'm not sure what's going to come out for me with this, because I'm still, you know, it's still something I'm learning. I'm a new moon baby, a nocturnal. Someone else, oh, I've lost it. Yeah, I felt like there was another Jane Austen tarot doing the rounds as well. So this one is by an artist called Jackie Oakley. She's clearly not she is an artist. She's done like a colouring book and other Jane Austen other type stuff. Who's the publisher? Because the thing is stuck over it. Clarkson Potter Publishers. Yeah, I don't know them. So I think it is, you know, it's most definitely like a novelty deck. Oh, 9 of Pentacles alone. That's my like life stalker card. If I got that, I'd be very, very happy. 4 of Pentacles, strong and stable, yes. I feel like I'm going to get something like the 3 of Swords or something like that. Oh, sorry, Tanya. The prompt is, oh, Justice. Wow, okay, that's a powerful one. 3 of Wands, yeah. How strong is your vital force right now? That is the prompt we are pulling for. How strong is your vital force right now? Okay. Yeah, I definitely felt like I'd seen one before. Okay. I was worrying for nothing, guys. I was totally worrying for nothing. Apparently, my vital force is on point. I have a lion, 4 of Wands. So... Thank you for that. That is really, really encouraging. Yeah, that's beautiful. I will most definitely take that. She's literally like a lion sunflower with fire sparkles coming off her head, and another 4. Yes, Savannah, yes. Interesting. A lot of 4 energy. And I wonder if that's to do with the Saturn Saturn is, like I said, opposing this whole new moon thing that's going on. And Saturn is very much that kind of 4 stability energy. And I wonder if that is coming in to play here as well. Yeah, look, she's a sunflower. She's a Leo sunflower. It's like if I went through the deck to choose a card for Leo, it would have been this. Oh, Prince of Pentacles, that's a nice one. Yeah, Candy, that's cool. Temperance, okay, yeah, quite a few majors coming out for you guys then as well. High numbers. I'm obviously sticking with the 4s. Let me pull one for us as a collective as well. 7 of Tomes, Pentacles, yeah. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, she does look strong, but at peace. She looks very playful, and she's got that heart, that womb heart again. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of hints to me to be putting that energy into my body, into my physical body, especially like in those lower energy centers. Okay, for all of us. Okay, no worries, Sarah. Yeah, no, this is all good. We're still there. Okay, we've got another major, guys. We've got the Lovers, which is probably Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy, do you think? It should be, shouldn't it? The Six of Hearts is the Lovers card in this deck. Yeah. I'll read what it says about it, but that's interesting for us as a kind of collective. For how strong does your vital force feel right now? And I wonder if it's kind of saying that our vital force is stronger when we are in union with other people who we are connected with as well, on like a kind of mental level, but also like that kind of heart energy level as well. I might need to read or watch Pride and Prejudice again. Yeah. I love that book. I love the book more than the movie. The movie's like okay, isn't it? The BBC series is obviously really good for Pride and Prejudice, but it's still not as good as the book. Whereas I actually think the Sense and Sensibility movie with the one we were talking about before is actually better, and it is, I think that's better than the book, which I know that is like literally sacrilege to be saying that about Jane Austen, but that is a brilliant, brilliant movie. It's somehow like more moving than the book, I don't know. And Eleanor is less annoying in the book. Well, and Marianne's less in the movie. Marianne's also less annoying in the movie than she is in the book. Yeah. Yeah, so union, and also like we were saying already about the sun and the moon being together at this new moon time, and also Mercury's there as well. So sun, moon, Mercury all in union together for us. We are stronger when we are in union, when we are combined, in union with ourselves, head and heart, and, all of our energy centers, but also with other people who get us. Like I was talking about this at the start, wasn't I? Yeah, the BBC Pride and Prejudice is really good. Oh, my laptop's decided to die on me. Let me switch that on. So I can't see my last prompt. Someone else might have to read it for us. I feel like it was something like our vital force is content and happy. There's peace in the Lovers. Definitely, there's peace in the Lovers. There's also choice though, isn't there? There's also a choice in the Lovers. So I feel like we also get to choose. We can choose to, it's that whole like two wolves story again, isn't it? It's like the two wolves are inside us, and one of them, if we feed the one, then it leads us to grow more, and if we feed the one that leads to despair, then we grow more despair, so we've got that choice as well. We can feed our vital force. And I feel like it's like you're saying, the peace that comes from the union of like courage and heart as well. We choose how to spend our energy, definitely, Kim. Yeah. I love how there's so much nuance, isn't there, with the different interpretations and everything. And my laptop's still not deciding to come on. Hey, Cherry. So I don't know, like, I don't know if this deck is hard to get. This is, it came out in 2020, this one. And I just saw it when I was in Watkins Books in London. So it could be, because they do have stuff there that is difficult to get. But it was only very, it says $16.99 on here, and I feel like there was like 30% off as well. So I feel like I paid less than £15 for it. So I don't know, someone was mentioning the Lo Scarabeo version, which I thought I'd seen that there was a Jane Austen deck already in existence. I don't have that one. I think that one might be the one that is difficult and rare to get. I'm not sure. Thanks, Elaine, for the prompt. My computer has actually come back on now, typically. So what could you do to boost your vital force this lunar month? So from the new moon to the new moon. So this is what I want us to dive into a lot as well, is like get some practices going. Let's get some actual like practical good advice. Frodo is desperately trying to get into the room. I've shut the door because because I didn't want to get interrupted, because I know they like playing video games and stuff in there. Okay, you can get it from all bookshops. So yeah, this one is not difficult to get. It's the older one that's going to be the difficult one to get. So yeah. Let's do our fourth prompt then. 4 prompts as well. What could you do? What can I do to boost my vital force this lunar month? And again, we're probably looking for details here, like actual practical pointers. So depending on the deck you've chosen, that's going to be easier or harder to do. Page of Wands, lovely. That's a lovely fiery learning, creativity. What do you like to do for creativity, Savannah? What do you do to kind of stretch yourself, stretch your creative muscles? And play as well, isn't it, with it being wands? Ooh, dropping cards again. 10 of Cups. Oh, that's lovely. Writing, yeah. 7 of Cups, another 7, yeah. Oh, the Star, like, and High Priestess. Okay, what can I do? Okay, so I've got 7 of Cups. Strength is a lovely one as well. That you know, like, that is the Leo card. That is actually the Leo card, Strength, isn't it? You know, as the card that resonates with that zodiac sign. Transformation, be open to change, gorgeous, yes. King of Cups, Ace of Swords. Yeah, I love it. I'm loving it, and I'm loving all your guys' readings of your cards as well. Introspection. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, that's one that doesn't necessarily feel very like Leo, but if that's what you need to boost your vital force, then yeah. Oh, Tanya, you've got a 7 as well. Like me, I've got the 7 of Cups. And for me, again, this feels like choice. It feels like choice and messages. I always, whenever I see this particular 7 of Cups, I always feel they look like little telephones, those flowers. And it's almost like she's like getting all these little messages in from everywhere else. You know, like often in the 7 of Cups, there is like somebody being presented with these cups and it looks like they have got to choose. Whereas here, I feel it's more like messages. You know, with swords being that air energy, it's little snippets of wisdom coming in from different places. So I feel like maybe I need to be aware this lunar month of the messages that I'm taking in, for sure. Yeah, it is the way she's got her head like tilted, like she's definitely listening, isn't she? She looks like she's listening. Yeah. And some of them, there's like little, I don't know if you can see it because it's, there are little like bird type creatures in these flowers, and like they've got little things in their kind of beaks. They're not all birds, they are definitely like weird creatures. There's like one that's like a snake and one that looks like an ant or something like that, and some of them have hearts and stars, and one of them's got like what looks like a playing card. You know, it's definitely got that same 7 of Cups general like kind of options, and you might choose the right one, you might choose the wrong one. Yeah, I think taking advice in this deck for me though is very much like spirits. I see them as being spirits. I know I've said this before about the joie de vivre. So I feel like it's like, to boost my vital force this month, I should be listening to the spirits, but being discerning about that. You know, there is definitely that element of like, some of these messages are going to be helpful and some of them aren't. And I do tend to feel like that, like sometimes, especially at certain times of the year, and the summer can be a bit like that for me sometimes. I almost get a bit overwhelmed with too much like psychic information coming in. So I feel like it's kind of saying try to be a bit more like discerning, a little bit more mindful of what I'm listening to. I don't have to take all these little things that are coming in. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, sure. The question is, the prompt is, what can you do to boost your vital force this month? How can you boost your vital force this month? I'll take one from the Jane Austen for us all now. Let's do it. So what can we as a collective do to boost our vital force this month? I think someone pulled this, didn't they, as the actual card. Justice, the scales. Interesting. So balance, I guess. You know, that's such a cliche reading for this card, isn't it? It's like, oh, balance, you should try and find balance. But it's that kind of aware, like often justice is pictured as blindfolded, isn't it? But still like perfectly able to see, like you're not being taken in by anything. You have like the perfect knowledge already there. So I feel like it's like balance from a place of knowing the details of the options. So sorry, Tanya, your message just flicked up and disappeared again really quickly. So I saw something about the Seven of Swords. Let me read what it says for justice, which is the 8. That's interesting. So it's the 8 of Spades, which would translate as the 8 of Swords. So in this deck, like quite often, new moon already. Yeah, it is. It's already gone. Well, you know, we haven't got to, we can't see it yet. We're still dark, but it is the new. Yeah. Okay, justice jumping out. Yeah, so that is definitely something that's coming up for us. Let's see what it says. Yeah, I was going to say that is, some people have it as 8. It depends what system you use. Like in Rider-Waite, justice is usually 11, and in Thoth it's usually 8. But obviously, yeah, taking the blinder off, I like it. I always feel like it's more like, for me, if I was going to do a Star Wars themed deck, my justice card would be the one where Luke has got like the helmet visor down and Obi-Wan is saying to him, use the force, Luke, you know, and he's doing that like exercise with the thing. It's like you've gone beyond sensory knowledge of the world and you're able to tap into like the actual like archetypal world beyond it, and that's where your information is coming from. And because your information is coming from there, from that greater knowledge, or like the Matrix, you know, like in the Matrix with the when Neo can then see the binary code which is making up the world, that's where justice is coming from, you know. Yeah, thanks, Liz. I hadn't until that very moment, but it was just like, that would be the perfect card for that. But yeah, it's that moment in the Matrix where Neo can see the code and he realizes that he now sees the world so much more clearly. And not that the other world is not true, because obviously that is kind of true as well, isn't it? But you've got like a different vantage point, and that's what I feel like the Justice card is coming from in tarot. Is like it's coming from that higher, I guess, in some ways, but like definitely like more expansive viewpoint. I hope you like, does this make sense? I hope it does. So let's find it. 8 of Spades, Justice, which, and the word they've given is literally balance. Just balance. And it says the scales must balance if everything is to be harmonious. Yeah, and that makes me think that obviously it's that whole, like, it's just, it is the cliche, like in order for us to be able to give out our vital force and to be able to tap into that gorgeous energy in us and like connect with each other and with ourselves in that heart-centered way, and to be courageous in the world, we also need to be able to receive and have our own needs met, which is why I asked that question about how are you currently blessing yourself, because you can't have output without input, you know, and our hearts actually demonstrate that physically, don't they? You know, like they have to, it's the different parts are like squeezing for the blood to flow in, and then it needs to relax for the blood to go into the next bit, and then the squeeze again for it to come out. You know, it's that ba-bum, ba-bum is the balance, you know, the heartbeat of our lives, and we need to be mindful of that, that we need to allow space for that to come in as well as for it to go out. And that just comes back to that death as well, doesn't it? Exactly that. It's like we need to be able to let go of things if we want to be able to have new awakenings and be able to have new experiences and things. Does that all make sense? I can see lots of things coming up. Oh, hey Jezebel, I didn't know you're here. That's cool. Yeah, everyone seems to be they're saying their decks, which is really cool. It's fun to see the different ones. I saw somebody using the Wild Unknown the other day, and I was like, yes, why I want to use that again. I haven't used that for like a few months now, probably. I don't even know, like normally it's quite low. Oh no, it is still on my bottom shelf, but I haven't used it. Hey Netted, was that you that just popped up then? It looked like. Okay, so practical work then, practical. What are we going to do? How are we going to translate this into our day-to-day life this month? Like, we are going to talk about this in the Facebook group as well, if you're over there. I know lots of you are. I'm seeing lots of your names over there. I'll try and put a link. I'll try and remember to put a link. I need to add it, don't I, to the general, or maybe I have. I might have already done that. To like the general blurb that goes underneath my videos anyway. It might be in there. So if you're not there, you can join. I feel like we want to be finding balance, definitely. We need to have creative input and creative output. Sometimes I find I'm even too much the other way, is that I'm receiving an awful lot of input, but I'm not giving the output. And like with me, as with the Four of Wands coming up for me there, I feel like I should definitely be leaning into that a little bit more. Yeah, Savannah, that's totally cool. I know, like I've only gone back to Facebook really because of the community aspect of it for here. I totally understand. I totally get it. And yeah, Rona, of course. And I'll try and post most things on the community tab too. And I'm trying to kind of come up with other ways that we can connect with each other, like maybe doing other lives and things like that as well. And I'd like to find a way of doing like a kind of circle here on YouTube as well. So I'm kind of thinking about that at the moment. So Tanya, there should be a link hopefully under this video. If not, if someone has got the link, that would be awesome. It's called Circle of Kindreds is the name of the group on Facebook, but I know some people have been having problems finding it on there because it is a private group. It's not hidden, so you can find it in theory through search, but I know some people have found that difficult. So Elaine, I did see your comment which passed up about you had the stars, you're going to be doing water healing. That sounds amazing. What have you got any specific plans on that? I was also wondering about stones as well. Like I know Elaine has got a carnelian that she has recently got, which is a very fire Leo, a leonine kind of stone for me. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't actually from this angle. I've got like on my sun altar, I've got lots of kind of like solar stones. I feel like I'm actually wearing a goddess, but I don't know if you can see. I try and, yeah, here. I've got this amber sun, which I usually wear during Leo season, and also just any time where I need that kind of solar vital force boost as well. Oh, hey Ginny, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm still kind of finding my way with it at the moment, most definitely. It's something that is, we'll find what is the most useful. Oh yeah, does it look like a turtle? Yeah, I love it. It's like the sun. Okay, so yeah, I think look at your cards element wise for like what should you be doing at this new moon time and through this whole, because you know we are on about caring ourselves, boosting our vital force. What I'm also doing, which you can also do if this sounds good to you, is I use my St. John's wort oil to just before I go to bed, I just put a little bit over my heart every night, so I've got that solar, because St. John's wort is a solar plant, and I'm putting that on my heart to give me that solar energy over my heart. If I have time, or if I remember, then I will also rub it in my whole body, like after I've had a shower and stuff as well. But you know, I probably do that like once a week or something, whereas it is the little dab basically before I go to bed normally. So yeah, citrine is another lovely one. This is amber. Did I say that this is amber? So that's a really gorgeous, like that's not technically a stone, is it? It's a resin, but it is strength. Yeah, so that is Leo's card. So quite a few people pulling cards that are very on point for where we are right now. I think things are a little bit tense over the next couple of weeks, and that's why I really wanted to focus on like heart-based practices that we can oh hey Joe, that we can really support ourselves with during this season. So yeah, be kind to yourself and definitely feed that heart center. Take that energy in to your heart center, however is best for you during this time, because we're probably going to need it for the first couple of weeks of August. Do look a little bit not lovely, and then the second half of August is a bit more chill. So yeah, I think, yeah, stay grounded, definitely. It's funny, isn't it? It's like, that's what I was saying, is look at your cards. Sorry, I can't follow a thought all the way to the end tonight. I seem to be jumping all over the place, but I think it's just because I have gotten out of the habit of doing live, so I'm not really that like eloquent. But look at the element that has come through for you. Perhaps you've got a balance of the elements, in which case you probably want to be using those different balance elements. But like Elaine said with her star card, that is a really beautiful indicator that water energy, and also like balance, you know, that kind of emotional cleansing, healing energy would be a really good thing to be working with through this month. And like I had death, you know, I've got mostly, well, I don't know, I've got like a spread really, but I guess I suppose I discard the ones that are for the collective. I'll just look at my 4, and I had 4 of swords, 7 of cups, so air, water, 4 of wands, fire, and then the death card, which they were given as also swords in the Jane Austen tarot. So yeah, just not that earthy pentacle energy. So also look what's missing, because perhaps that is something that is missing that might be handy. In medical astrology, we always look to kind of balance out the different elements like that. Like if your natal chart has a lot of certain elements and you're kind of lacking in an element, then we normally like need to add that in to really boost the vital force. So yeah, I'm going to be using stones, I'm going to be using oil, I'm going to be trying to get early night, I'm going to be trying to do better from a point of view of like getting my heart beating, to doing like physical activity. Yeah, so share what is that you're going to be doing, and I hope that we all have a really wonderful month. Perhaps we can do, it is a lovely group. I'm so glad, you know, I'm so grateful to have you guys here, because it just reflects back to me that what Spirit has been saying to me about community being needed is that that's true, you know. So it is a really heart-centered community, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day there, and maybe I'll have a think about whether we can maybe do something like a ritual or a meditation or something, or I'd like to be able to weave that in. So let me know if you would like that, because I know some of you used to like it when I did the meditations and stuff before, when we had like the Patreon and things. So it's something that I've been kind of thinking about, really, how I can best serve the community, you know, be part of that. So earth, air, fire and water. Oh wow, Kim, so you had a full spread of that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we are going to be saying goodbye in a moment now, but we will meet again, I'm sure. And I'll take photos of the cards that came out, and I'll share them in the community tab as well, so that if you you've got a record of it if you didn't do it. And hopefully you've all got your journal things now, so you know exactly what you're going to be doing this month. So now we're going to try and figure out how to say goodbye. Yeah, I feel like that as well. It's so nice to be able to connect with people. Oh, hey Nancy. Right, let me see. How do I stop my live? I'll get better at this. We can do this more and I'll get better. So this is really good. Thank you, Judith. Okay, yeah, definitely take some more time with the cards, because we didn't really, like, we just kind of quickly went through. I'm definitely going to do a little bit more with mine as well, once I kind of said goodbye and everything, and actually like journal them up. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Warmest blessings.